Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at the HG Gundam Seed 105 Dagger plus Gunbarrel. Yep, I'm pulling out another old Gundam Seed kit because I thought this one looked really cool and I wanted to show it off to you guys. So here we are. But before we get to the figure, as always, let's take a quick look at the box. So this comes from the Gundam Seed MSV line, so that's kind of cool. This is just an HG Gundam Seed, not to be confused with HG... is it CE? Cosmic Century or something? I don't know. It basically the Seed equivalent of the HGUC line. Anyway, we got cool illustration of the dagger plus a normal dagger and a normal gun barrel, and then this is them combined together. So that's kind of cool. 105 gun dagger plus gun barrel in big text. Extra information. This kit came out in 2004, so yeah, got Blue Bandai logo, so this is a reissue of that kit, not an original release. Back here we have some nice painted photographs of what it looks like, including all the little symbols and stuff that you can put on there. Write-ups that I can't read because it's in Japanese. On the side we got the same illustrations as before. Over here we have a write-up of the pilot, I'm guessing, as well as the mobile suit. Then they show off one of the other things in this line. And sad barcode. And over here, same as before, but we got a bluefin sticker. Okay, enough of the box, let's take a look at the figure. And here they are on my fancy new turntable. We got the gun barrel right here and the dagger right here. And I gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed with these things. Despite their age, the construction is pretty interesting and the color separation is actually pretty good, with only minimal amounts of stickers used for some color corrections. There are a few things that fall short, like these little bits on the shoulders are supposed to be dark gray, but overall there is color separation what I wouldn't expect to see it, particularly on the gun barrel here. Having three distinct plastic colors on this, when I could have easily seen them have tried to do this with pure stickers and it looking absolutely awful, well, I am impressed. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the gun barrel itself right now. Is it swooshable? Swoosh. Yeah, I think so. Oh, don't mind that. There's parts on the bottom for its deployed mode. We'll get to that in just a second. As you can see, they have a nice little stand for it, but you can fly it around without it if you want. You can even set it down like this if you want. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, the color separation on this is actually pretty phenomenal. I mean, look at this gun. They actually have gray plastic here. I could have easily have seen them just mold this all in one color and call it a day, but they didn't. And the only stickers it really has are on the cameras up front, and that's kind of to be expected with a Gundam kit. Now, just like in the show, these parts open up and reveal a gun barrel, but sadly, there's no actual engineering to this. It's just parts. That's what I was showing off earlier. You have a little fake hinge thing and a gun barrel, and you basically just pop those on after opening this up. And if you want, you can also take this off and fly it around. There's no cable like I think the original one had, but you can pretend if you want. But yeah, it doesn't stay together very well, and it's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily think I'll display it like this. But it is a thing you can do. Next up, we have the dagger itself. And again, I really dig how this looks. Color separation is pretty good. I mean, there are some places I think these are supposed to be black. But considering the age of the kit, it could have been a lot worse. You do have big seam lines in the middle of things, which is to be expected from this kit. Also, the articulation is done kind of weird. So there is no butterfly joint at all. It is exactly just a peg into a hole for the shoulder. So you can rotate it around. It's kind of tilted at a funny way, so it will look a little weird. Get a little bit of movement side to side, single jointed elbow, ball socket, wrist, some movement at the waist, ball socket head. You can kick up. You got ball socket mounted hips too, by the way, so be aware of that. You do have a double jointed knee, but it's very limited. And articulation is done with a ball socket and a bit of a hinge. So yeah, it's not phenomenal. It's not modern engineering. And I mean, it wasn't supposed to be. It was pretty good for the time, I would imagine. You got to remember with these old kits, they just hadn't picked up the new tricks that they have now. Really, around the time of Gundam 00 and Gundam Age is when we started getting what we would think of as modern HG kits. But really, I think this is actually pretty decent. I had a blast building this thing, and sometimes it's fun to go back to older kits because they do build things differently, so it's something different. One other complaint I could levy on this thing is that the way the hand is set up, it doesn't hold its weapon very well. It's very jiggly. You can see that. But it looks pretty darn cool. I dig it. I actually quite dig it a lot. So now there is the main reason one would get this thing, which is to combine these two together. So you can get the basically Dagger plus gun barrel. And it's pretty interesting how they do this. So we're going to take the gun barrel. We're going to flip this up. And then we have a little adapter thing, which I imagine in the real world would like pop out or something like that. And we're going to attach it in here. Sorry. Like so. And that basically gives you a striker pack adapter, which goes into the striker pack port in the back. And then you just pop that on there. And now he will not be able to stand because he is way too back heavy with this thing on. And that shield's going to pop off easily. But fortunately, there's a stand. But not like this. You have an extra piece for the stand. So you take this, slide them together, put this in, and then you attach it underneath there. And now he's tall, but he's not falling over. And it looks pretty cool. It's not as great as like an action base or something like that, but it gets the job done. So we got this, and I think we know what we need to do next. It's time to play everybody's favorite game, Is It Compatible? First up, Gundam. Yes, it's compatible. Next up, Build Strike Full Package. Yes, it's compatible. Next, the Perfect Strike. Yes, it's compatible. And finally wait, what? It's compatible, apparently. So, like I said before, I dig this kit a lot. But before you get this kit, you need to be aware of the issues for it. It's an older kit, so it's going to have older construction issues, older seam line issues, older color separation issues. So buyer beware. I would not pay more than the standard retail price for this thing because with all those issues, it rapidly doesn't become worth it. And I guess the only other thing I could think of that I don't like is this gun up here. I feel like there should be something else to happen with it, and it just sits there, so blah. But yeah, I think that's enough rambling for now. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you next time you invade my shelf space. I mean, it's not like we're going to get a new version of the Dagger or anything. Son of a bitch!